Oh, Italy. Ever since the 6th century with the Byzantine reconquest, it has been constantly divided. First with the Lombards, then with the Holy Roman Empire, then a collection of merchant republics, and then the French and the Spanish, and the Austrians. Now, after the Napoleonic Wars, Italy is placed under Austrian domination as part of the Congress of Vienna. However, some still dare to dream, with the new ideas of nationalism and liberalism seeking to upend the old order. Perhaps there is a kingdom that might be able to channel those dreams into a new kingdom. A kingdom for the Italians in the footsteps of Rome. Welcome to Europe, 1836. And, the Austrians and French are kind of dominating Italy, but we are going to try and overturn them and create a new empire. But in order to do that, we've got to do some reforms. So let's get to it. Administration efficiency. It was like at 18%. We are going to need to buff that up. So we have begun encouraging bureaucrats in our states. In 1836, Sardinia-Piedmont began bureaucratic reform. Firstly, they established new bureaucratic offices, they reformed the system to be more efficient, and they clamped down on corruption, hugely increasing efficiency, which was desperately needed. We got the event super early, where precious metals spawned in Sassari, so we are now just summoning money out of purely thin air. Our bureaucratic efficiency is beginning to skyrocket. We're already at 38%, and it's getting higher. We are finally going to be able to start working on intellectuals and begin teaching our people how to read. Which is kind of necessary considering barely over a third can right now. By the way, the reason my administration is only at 81% is because I don't have South Italian, which is the primary culture group of Sardinia, as an accepted population. So, I can't promote bureaucrats. I will be able to do it eventually, though, once I go down towards politics, decisions, and the perfect fusion, but that is going to take until 1847 because I do not plan on investing in state and government, since we do not have the time for that. Now that I've finished researching positivism, I'm actually going to hold off on researching anything to stockpile my research points, but it's worth it to get idealism early so that I can start working on doing the necessary texts, which is all of these. As 1840 dawns, we are finally able to start working on idealism. This will give us a huge research bonus, which we will be able to use to focus on our army and getting medicine. And that's just what Piedmont did. From 1940 to 1948, Piedmont saw a massive spike in both intellectuals coming to the country, thanks to its patronage of it, and its militarization, incorporating cutting-edge technologies. So much so that Otto von Bismarck would call Piedmont the Prussia of the Balkans. So, from now on, these are just going to be the highlights of the pre-war years. Past the statue of Albertino to get a bunch of reforms, which will allow us to finally remove our liberal agitation. Why is the United States sieging Corsica? Wait, the United States is allied with Mexico, who is... Okay, then. We're almost finished researching these two technologies. Our army has doubled in size, and we will be prepared. However, I am a little worried because Austria is actually researching a beta tech. They were at 5 tech, now they're at 6, so such an ungodly amount of liberal events here. It's awful. Savoy is now an entirely liberal hotspot, while everywhere else is like conservative. Thank God it's finally 1847. I can do this. I can finally start developing literally a third of my country. Somehow I've managed to become a great power. Don't ask me how I've done it. I guess I just have an ungodly amount of prestige, but hey, Hungarian Revolution has begun, which means we're soon going to be able to do something against the Austrians. As the Austrian Empire crumbled under the strain of the Hungarian revolt, and the Italians rose in rebellion against their Austrian oppressors, Piedmont grasped the opportunity, preparing its armies and crossing into Lombardy to liberate its brothers. The revolution has spread, and now I can intervene. Let's do this. As the war begins, I immediately move to secure Lombardy. This not only gets me ticking war score, but it connects me with Venice, which will help severely with creating a solid defensive line against the Austrian attack. Remember that the Austrians still outnumber, even though most of their army is being down. I actually get a really good battle here and attack, which allows me to destroy the Austrian army there, and I immediately work to relieve it.
Questo è il fiore del partigiano, questo è il fiore.
I beeline it through Trieste.
Questo è il fiore del partigiano, questo è il fiore. Questo è il fiore del partigiano, questo è il fiore.
So from there I'm sieging.
Questo è il fiore del partigiano. Una mattina mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasore. Oh partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. Questo è il fiore del partigiano. Questo è il fiore del partigiano.
Austria has surrendered completely. Oh, that is incredible. Oh, wow. Sardinia has won the Italian War of Independence, which allows us to annex all of this territory. And there it is. The San Marco Republic has decided to join us. Now have the entirety of Italy in our sphere of influence. So, luckily, these territories were decently governable. It only took a little bit of work to actually get their bureaucratic efficiency up to snuff. Venice, Istria, and Dalmatia, oh my god, they are entirely different beasts. Holy hell. The Russians have decided to ask me for an alliance? And I don't see why not. It would be perfect for countering the Austrians. Crimean War has begun, and you know what? I'm just gonna watch as the as the Ottomans suffered because need British and French recognition for Italian unification, they thought already have Italy by the balls. Finally, with the researching of nationalism and imperialism, I can go to my decisions here and do the Italian call to... Actually, I don't even need to do that. I can just unify Italy. And done. And the best part is, for example, the whole conquest of the Adriatic. Yeah, I already have that. There we go. So now, let's start finally reforming the nation and becoming a great power. In 1853, Italy would finally finish its unification. Not through war, but through peace. With a tetrarchal compromise occurring between the Piedmont, Venice, the Papal States, and the two Sicilies, each having a decent amount of autonomy. It was a bit of a weird governing system, but it worked. Now, Italy sought to become a true power on the Mediterranean.